Oh my God, college football. Miracle? How's everyone doing? Yeah, good morning in there. And there's nobody there. Nobody shows up for these Big Ten spring games. It's a shame, really. I don't understand it. Whee! Got Michigan over here. Top 10. How's everybody doing? Who's ready for some college football today? Turn these lights on. Here we go. Honorary Captain Colin Kaepernick. Ah, man, doesn't that make y'all happy? Aren't y'all excited to see your boy Cap back out on the football field? A Michigan fan left a comment. Uh, the Michigan schedule video, I guess, that I did. Schedule, or anyway, some video I did a couple of days ago that he's been a Michigan fan for 50 years. But he's never watching another Michigan game. He's never going to another Michigan game. He's throwing away all of his Michigan stuff, and he's not giving any more money to the school because Colin Kaepernick is the honorary team captain for the spring game. Okay. Man, there is nobody there at this game. Gonna be 100,000 people at the Georgia spring game. That I can tell you. Gonna be 100. Hell, there'll be 200,000 people up there. 100,000 of them will be in the stadium. How's everybody doing? Finally, some football. Yes, Big Ten Network. If you want to watch it, Big Ten Network. Michigan won the toss and has elected to receive. Whee! I guess we're not going to see J.J. McCarthy today. I think he's been hurt and not really practicing during the spring, which has to be driving Michigan fans up the wall because I think most of the Michigan people I know they want what's his name? J.J. McCarthy, is that his name? They want him to start, not McNamara. But I don't think so. I guess we're not going to see McCarthy today, from what I've heard. What do y'all think about Michigan this year? I know most people don't think Michigan's going to repeat and win the Big Ten and beat Ohio State and go back to the playoffs, but besides the Ohio State game, how are they going to do, y'all think? Yeah, Matthew, it's just fake outrage. That's all it is. It's virtue signaling and fake outrage. Anybody that is disowning a lifetime of Michigan fandom because they brought Colin Kaepernick out on the field for the coin. The guy came out. I don't know if y'all are watching. You know how they do the coin toss at the beginning of the game? Well, they had Michigan players out there. They had the referee, and then they had Colin Kaepernick. And basically, what it looked like to me, they just let Colin Kaepernick call heads or tails. And then, as soon as that was over, he trotted his happy ass off the field and out through the tunnel. But you got people that's throwing away a lifetime of Michigan fanhood because Colin Kaepernick was on the field for 11 seconds. I don't know. They are, what do they call this? The maize and blue game? I think, so is maize yellow? Well, so maize has the ball, the yellow team. They got one team in all yellow jerseys and pants, and the other team in blue. Blue jerseys, blue pants. 2nd and 11. Oh! McNamara threw over the middle. Pretty good coverage, was knocked away at the last minute. It's going to be 3rd and 11 now. Quarterbacks, of course, are in white jerseys. They're the only, you're not allowed to hit the quarterback. Spring game, you can't even look at the quarterback, I don't think. I think if you even look at the quarterback in the spring game, you get kicked off the team. I think this is the only spring game coming on TV today. Does anybody know of another one? Going deep down the sideline, has a step, but bad throw. Wasn't a good throw. The receiver had a couple of steps on the defender streaking down the sideline. Not a good throw. Spring game rules for Michigan. 4 12-minute quarters, live kicks and punts, but no returns. Cade McNamara is going to play 2 series at quarterbacks for both teams. And the coaches, Steve, whatever, named a couple of coaches. So Mays goes 3 and out. They have to punt it away. Booming punt. Huge punt down inside the huge punt down inside the 20. Shout out to everybody for tuning in today. I know. It's just a spring game, Lou. I know it's just a spring game. It's Michigan, Lou. I know it's Michigan. I'm watching it. How would I not know that? It's college football, though. You've got 5 or 6 chances to watch some college football games on TV over the next couple of weeks, and then you've got nothing until football season. So I'll take what I can get in the middle of April. So keep that in mind if you can. And I don't know. I don't know if you can or not. All right, the blue team has the ball now. McNamara is playing quarterback right now for both teams. So McNamara quarterback the Mays team on their first series. They went 3 and out. Now he's quarterbacking the blue team. Shotgun, empty backfield, no running backs. McNamara back to throw. Pretty good protection. Going deep again. Knocked away by the defender. Great coverage. That ball floated in the air forever, too. Michigan's got to find a replacement for Hassan Haskins, too. That running back they had last year. Everybody talked about those 2 defensive ends for Michigan, and yeah, they were really, or outside linebackers, whatever they were. I think they were defensive ends, though. And they were really good, but offensively, Hassan Haskins might have been their best player. And he's gone now, so they got to find a new running back. 3rd and 5 now for the blue team. Again, an empty backfield for McNamara. 5 wide receivers. Back to throw. Under pressure, and they're going to get to him. What they do is you guys have seen spring games before. If this would have been a real game, that would have been a sack. It was clear he was about to get sacked. So what they do is they just blow the play dead before the quarterback ever gets hit. So one offensive possession so far for each team, the Mays team and the blue team. And each have gone 3 and out. And McNamara can't hit the broadside of a barn. No wonder Michigan fans want J.J. McCarthy so bad. Punt is away again. Fair catch called and made at about the 43 or 44 yard line. So pretty good field position this time for the Mays team. We'll see what they can do. And I guess this is going to be McNamara back at quarterback again because they said he was going to do 2 series for each team. And right now he's done 1 series for each team. So we'll see. Hey Taylor Lord, I appreciate you hitting the super chat to help support the show today, sir. He says, I say 10-2 from Michigan. Until they change their offensive system, they're not competing with the big boys in the postseason. 10-2 wouldn't be terrible. I mean, and they got some tough games. Of course, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State. I think they played Nebraska. Uh, who does Michigan? I can't remember who Michigan plays. Does Michigan play anybody at all in the non-con? Let me see. There's Michigan's schedule there. What do y'all think they're going to do? Tell me, look at this schedule here and tell me in the chat. What is Michigan's schedule going to be? Y'all hit the thumbs up, too, if you hadn't already. Hit the thumbs up. Another incomplete pass for McNamara. It's going to be 3rd and 4 now. Boy, none of these things, boy, they can't get a damn first down. Boy, the non-con schedule is absolute doo-doo for Michigan. This is embarrassing. Colorado State, Hawaii, and UConn. Good job, Michigan. Good job, Michigan. Way to go out and schedule some great non-con games. Holy moly. What a joke of a non-con schedule this is. Big Ten fans crying that SEC teams play one FCS game. Jesus Christ, son. You're playing UConn, Hawaii, and Colorado State. McNamara going deep again. Complete that time. That looked like pass interference, though. Okay. The lady is going to get some lunch. The Uber lady is going to get some lunch. 12-0. I have confidence. Says Sour. Luke Walker says 11-1. Fishing Football says 10-2. I mean, let's see. What games could they... I mean, at Iowa won't be easy. Penn State, Michigan State at home. Nebraska at home. At Ohio State on the road. I mean, I don't see them losing any more than 3 games. McNamara throws, and the pass was dropped at the 8-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 10 now from about the 12 or 13, I think. D-Block says Michigan is trash. Wow. That's brutal. Fishing Football says lost to Penn State and Ohio State. Yeah, they get Penn State and Michigan State at home, but there's a bye week in between. They could win both those games, but, you know, then they got at Iowa a little earlier in the year. It's never easy to play there. They've got good defense. Running play doesn't get much, and there's a flag down. Looks like probably going to be holding based on where it was thrown. We'll see. Michigan has been playing a hard schedule almost every year. Now we get a weak schedule and people want to cry. I don't think anyone's crying. I don't give a shit who you play. It's just funny to hear Big Ten people cry about SEC scheduling, then look at a Big Ten schedule and it's fucking sad. Let's see. Usually Michigan plays a hard schedule. Well, is that true? Last year you played Western Michigan, Washington, and Northern Illinois. Is that hard? 2020, there was no non-con games in 2020. 2019, you played Middle Tennessee State, Army. And I guess that's it. (2018) 2018, you did play Notre Dame, so we'll give you some credit. So, yeah, you played a decent schedule back in 2018. I remember 2018 vaguely, barely though, barely though. Washington was ranked in the top 20 in the preseason. 13 early enrollee freshmen playing for Michigan in today's game. Field goal attempt for the Mays team. The kick is up, and it's good. Barely squeaks in the right inside the right upright there. 3-0. The Mays team up over the blue team. Michigan spring game. Any other spring games on TV today? Not that I don't think there is. No, we're not. We're talking about non-con games. The you have every Big Ten team has a hard conference schedule every single year. It's the Big Ten. It's the second best conference in football. I'm talking about non-con schedules here. I'm just talking about the non-con. Every Big Ten team has a hard conference schedule because it's a really good conference. Second best conference, no question about it. But definitely better than the ACC. Definitely better than the Big 12. Definitely better than the Pac-12. Last year, the Big Ten East, I think, was the best division in football. I'm just talking about the non-con schedule. Big Ten East was probably the best or toughest division in football last year. Big Ten West had kind of a down year. Well, Wisconsin wasn't that good. Nebraska won 3 games. Iowa is Iowa. Uh-huh. Yeah. First and 10 now for the blue team. Looks like it's that. I guess it's a nice running play here. Has some room. Gets around the right corner. Picks up 15, 20 yards there. Definitely the best running play of the day. Who was that? Who's that number 2 for Michigan? Is that who's taking over for Hassan Haskins this year? Is any Michigan mans in the comments? I know there is. Who's taking over for Hassan Haskins this year at Michigan? First and 10 now for the blue team on the 43-yard line. They bring a man in motion. They're going to hand this one off. Nowhere to go on this one. He's going to lose a yard. Same guy. Who is that number 2? Corum? Corum. Corum. Blake Corum. Okay, Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. Let's see. Blake Corum. Blake Corum. All right, last year averaged 6.6 yards a carry, had 11 touchdowns, 24 catches for 141 yards and another touchdown. So pretty good last year. He'll be a junior this year, so Corum's a junior. Former 4-star, 12th rated running back in his class. So he's got some potential. 5'8", 193. Probably a little heavier than that now. That was his recruiting profile, 5'8", 193. Probably over 200 now. Third and 10 now for the blue team. Blake Corum was great last year until he got injured. Yeah, he played in 12 games, so it must not have been that serious of an injury. Or did he get hurt late in the year? Is that what you're saying? Did he get hurt late in the year and miss the last three? What was the last three games? Well, that would have been the Ohio State game, the conference championship game, and the playoff game if he missed the last three, I guess. Michigan's schedule this year is a joke. They're going to be a fake news AP top 10. Well, they'll start in the top 10 for sure. They'll start in the top 10 for sure. Going back to the schedule, I mean, they're going to win their first three games: Colorado State, Hawaii, and UConn. So they'll be in the top 10 for the first month of the season. Then they play Maryland at home, at Iowa, at Indiana. I don't see them losing to Maryland at home. I don't lose. Indiana was the worst team in the Big Ten last year. At Iowa was tough though. They could have one loss before their bye. I don't see Michigan. Anybody think Michigan will lose two games before their bye week? They're probably going to be in the top 10 for at least the first half of the season, right? Oh, so he got hurt in the middle of the season and missed a few games. I got you. McNamara is still in the game. Fails to pick up the first down. Blue team punts it away. I think that's it for McNamara now. So the Michigan man's in the comment section. All you Michigan mans, McCarthy's not playing this spring, right? So who are we going to see at quarterback now? Look at this string. Who is this? Oh, that's the punter. I thought that was the quarterback they were fixing to send out there. Who is this string being here now? But that's the punter. Let's see who they send out here at quarterback now. Michigan has to replace both their coordinators from last year, too. They lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. So some coaching changes for Michigan, too. Right. No gain on first down, a little swing pass, complete, but tackled right away. Who's that in the game? Is that still McNamara at QB? Who the hell is that? McNamara's still in there. Okay. I thought they had said he was only playing two series for each team. That's what they said at the beginning, but I guess Jim Harbaugh done changed his mind. How come Jim Harbaugh's not wearing khaki pants? What the hell's going on with that? That's a little weird. Alan Bowman will be quarterback in the next series. Alan Bowman. Any Michigan fans? Well, the Michigan fans in here, who do y'all want to start at quarterback next year? Most Michigan people I talk to want the other guy, McCarthy. Who do y'all want to be the starter? Full Metal Pilot says I want McCarthy. Most people want JJ at this point. Yeah, most Michigan fans that I hear from, whether it's on my shows or comment sections or whatever, most seem to want McCarthy. Most wanted McCarthy last year too. You know, most wanted McCarthy last year too, and also. I need to put these helmets back up on the shelf too. LSU. Barner. The Barner. Florida. Florida. Indiana. Where do they want to go? They can go here. White Tonto. Florida State. North Kakalaki. North Kakalaki. I just put them over here. How'd that be? That'd be just fine. The Tater Man. The Tater Man. It's a shame the Tater Man's not on the top 10 shelf, ain't it? How long is that, man? Shout out to Clemson, man. Clemson used to have a permanent home on the top 10 shelf up here. Not anymore. Back here with the rest of the nobodies. Sorry, Tater Man. Sorry, Tater Man. Nebraska, the best 3-9 team in college football history, according to Ohio State fans. Well, where do they want to go? I'll put them here. Iowa State. Iowa State. Where do they need to go? Iowa State. Why is... Oh, that's Kansas State. I'll put them up here. Iowa State. Iowa State. The most talked about team of the offseason. Southern Cal. Southern Cal. And our good buddies, the Texas Shorthorns. There we go. Been meaning to do that for a while. 3rd and 4 for the blue team up near midfield. New quarterback in the game now. Hands it off up the middle. Breaking tackles. Runs over the referee. Get out of the way, son. The referee just got bowling balled. Show me that again. The referee just got humiliated. The referee just got ran over. Y'all seen that? First and 10 now for the blue team up inside the Mays territory near the 40. Another handoff up the middle. Not much doing on that one. Might have picked up a yard, not more. Not much more. Nebraska gave everyone a good scare. 2nd and 8 now, sir. They say he gained 2 yards on that run. I'm not buying it. Uh-oh, double pass. In the spring game, though? Wow. Double pass. Hitch pass to a tight end that was split out. And then he threw it to another tight end down the field. Now, this is very alarming for a spring game. Look at this. A tight end completing a pass to a tight end. Corum runs up the middle, picks up a couple of yards. They're going to be down around the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal. Mays is leading 3-0, coming up on the end of the first quarter here. Corum will be a monster. Yeah, he looks pretty good. I mean, I don't remember him from last year, but I think that's because I was mainly focused on Hassan Haskins. But he's looked good today. He looks a lot smaller to me than... He looks like a different style of running back than Hassan Haskins. He seems smaller to me. Maybe smaller and more of a quicker, like shifty type of running back. Taters should win the ACC. We'll see. I mean, they have the most talented team, but they've got to get that offense figured out. I mean, if they don't get better production from the quarterback position, it's going to be hard to win the ACC, even as talented as they are. The offensive line has got to play better. Now, I think their running backs will be better. What's that running back's name? Will Shipley. He was a true freshman last year. He should be really good this coming up year. They got to find a playmaker at wide receiver. Not that they don't have any, but they need, somebody needs to become a go-to wide receiver. Defensively, I don't have any questions really at all. Maybe one cornerback position they got to figure out because they lost Andrew Booth to the NFL. But Clemson's going to have the best defensive line in all of college football. Clemson's defense will be better this year than it was last year. And they had top 5 defense last year. Clemson's defense is going to be nasty. Yeah, NC State was good last year. They got a lot of people coming back. Pitt, who won the ACC, loses Kenny Pickett and one of those was it a tight end he lost to on offense. But they bring Keaton Slovis in from Southern Cal, and I'm not trying to say he's Kenny Pickett, but he's got 3 years of starting experience in college football, so it's not like they're completely starting over at the quarterback position. And I think their best wide receiver comes back too. So we'll see what they can do. Miami is interesting to me. They were hot at the end of last year. They won 5 of their last 6 games. Losing the Florida State game, which I still don't understand how they managed to do that, but they won 5 of their last 6 games. Tyler Van Dyke was breaking records, throwing the ball in those games. He didn't play until halfway through the season because of the other quarterbacks got injured and they was kind of forced to play. He goes in and he starts lighting it up every single week. He comes back. New coaching staff, and I like their coaching staff. Miami's interesting to me. See what they can do. Georgia's spring game is April 16th, so 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. It'll be on ESPN2. ESPN2, Georgia spring game. Charlie says, I think Pitt will win the division again this year. Could. Definitely could. I think North Carolina, nobody's talking about them. They lost Sam Howell. I think North Carolina is going to be better on defense than they were last year, and if they can find a quarterback, I think North Carolina has a chance to be a good team. Taylor Lord says, I think we play Miami twice. Could happen. You play them late in the season, in the regular season. You get them at home, too. Clemson does. They play Miami at home. Miami's got to travel. Play at Clemson. I think that's week 8 or week 9, something like that. And could end up playing about a month later in the ACC title game as well. That could definitely happen. Touchdown for the blue team. Handoff up the middle. Was that Corum? Let's see. I can't tell. No. Taviar Dunlap, whatever that is. Touchdown, Taviar Dunlap. Blue team takes the lead, 6-3. Here comes the extra point now. Good drive there by the blue team. Couple of good runs. The double pass. Ends it with a touchdown run up the middle of 2 or 3 yards. The extra point is good, and the blue team takes a 7-3 lead with 11:55 to go in the second quarter. Humbling Miami fans never gets old. Hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. That's a big help on live streams. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if for some reason you found this live stream and you're not subscribed to my channel already. Subscribe to the channel. Yes, Georgia is my favorite team, but I'm a college football fan. I love college football. It just so happens Georgia's my favorite team. So don't let that scare you off. I don't just talk about Georgia all the time. Believe me, I make fun of everybody equally, including Georgia. Speaking of making fun of people, I sure did have a lot of fun yesterday on April Fool's Day over on Twitter. Who's following Uncle Lou on Twitter? If you're not, well, what's wrong with you? I don't know what's wrong with you. If you're not following Uncle Lou on Twitter, something is definitely wrong. Let's see. Look at this. Tennessee got caught cheating in baseball. Did y'all hear about that? Tennessee, what a shock. What a shock. Tennessee got caught cheating at something? Mind blown. When I first heard it, I said, what, now they're giving the baseball players Happy Meals with money in them? No, illegal bat. Illegal bat. But then but I had a series of April Fool's posts though that were great. Uh, yeah, here. Oh, no, come on, what are you doing? Happy April Fool's Day. Dabo Swinney has adapted very well to the changes in college football. Happy April Fool's Day. Miami is back. Happy April Fool's Day. Alabama has 18 legitimate national titles. Happy April Fool's Day. Brian Harsin will be the coach at Auburn in 2023. Happy April Fool's Day. Notre Dame will win a major postseason game this year. Happy April Fool's Day. Billy Napier is the answer at Florida. Happy April Fool's Day. Texas Longhorns will be very successful in the SEC. Happy April Fool's Day. Ohio State was the best team in Ohio last year. Happy April Fool's Day. Tennessee football matters. Quarterback in now, number 16, Warren. I don't know much about him. Michigan will have a better quarterback and offense. Their defense likely won't be as good. Who's going to be the quarterback? You think it's going to be McNamara or McCarthy? McCarthy's, he being out for the spring is not helping him. But I still think it's possible McCarthy starts at quarterback for Michigan. I mean, I can't remember what injury it is that's keeping him out, but he'll be good to go by the time summer camp starts up and all that, and then practice and everything like that. He's just missing the spring. Thoughts on Dan Lanning first year coming up at Oregon? Well, he's got a lot of talent to work with because Mario Cristobal is an A++ recruiter. So he's got talent there to work with. And they're probably the first or second most talented team in the Pac-12. They play in the Pac-12 North. Nice run here by Michigan, number 20. Who is that? Now, he's a bigger guy. He's bigger than Corum. Who is that number 20? Mullings, Khalil Mullings. He's a big dude. He's a lot bigger than that Corum at number 2. He looks more like Hassan Haskins to me. What was I saying? Wisconsin should win the Big Ten West. Well, really, Wisconsin should win the Big Ten West every single year. I mean, what do you have to do to win the Big Ten West? You have to be better than Iowa and Nebraska. I mean, they should be winning the Big Ten West pretty much every single year. What are you doing? What are you doing? Way overthrown that pass there. Nobody could have caught that one. I don't know anything about this quarterback that's in the game now, number 16, Warren. I don't know if he's a freshman or I don't know. I don't know anything about him. It looks like he has a strong arm, but a little bit too strong on that throw there. Wisconsin will be able to run the ball and play defense, but they won't win anything meaningful because they have no passing attack. That's been their problem really for 10 or 15 years. They've had a really good defense and a really good running game for almost as long as anybody can remember. But they have struggled at the quarterback position and throwing the ball. Pass complete, down inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 10-yard line. Good throw. Great run after the catch. And number 6, he looks fast. It'll be a first down for Mays right at the 10-yard line. They trailed a blue team 7-3 right now. 8:20 to go in the second quarter. First and goal just inside the 10. Two wide receivers to the top of the screen. Warren under center. Brings a man in motion. They're going to hand this one off right up the gut. Nowhere to go. Gets back to the 10, and that's it. No gain on the play. Second and goal now from the 10. Wisconsin are the Chicago Bears of college football. Well, the Bears have a legitimate QB right now, but they didn't for a long time, but they do now. I don't know. Hey, Matthew, thank you for hitting the super chat, buddy. Help support the show. I appreciate that. He says, good morning in that. Yeah, good morning in that, Matthew. Where's Nate the Great? I'm surprised he's not in here. He's a Michigan fan. Nate the Great, you watching, buddy? Tennessee is going to be the most interesting season to follow, I think, coming up. I think Southern Cal is really interesting. Lincoln Riley. They bring Caleb Williams out there. I think Southern Cal might be the most interesting team. What's your thoughts on Watson joining Nick Chubb in Cleveland? I think Watson is one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, it's taking a year off. It's not easy to get right back in the swing of things. So we'll have to see how he looks. But before that scandal with the Instagram hose that he was whatever he was doing, I don't know. But before that scandal with the Instagram hose where he basically didn't play for a year, I think he was one of the best 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's young. He can play another 10 years easy. And I've never been a fan of Baker Mayfield. So, I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan. I'm not a fan of any team in the NFL. I don't have a favorite NFL team. But I think Cleveland is better with Deshaun Watson than they were with Baker Mayfield. They're doing reviews and instant replay in spring game now. I guess they're trying to make spring games last 4 hours just like regular games. LSU and Southern Cal will be interesting to see if good coaches that never win in the postseason can change their ways at new schools. Good point. Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly, 2 of the most successful regular season coaches over the last 10 years. But have a hard time winning big postseason games. That's true. That is true. I think Lincoln Riley's got an easier road in the Pac-12 South than Brian Kelly does in the SEC West, though. Oh, what's up, Wilkie? Good to see you in here, buddy. Watson isn't a top 5 QB in the NFL. Top 10 for sure. That's a great opinion. What's your thoughts on Tom Brady returning from his retirement? I don't want to see happen to Tom Brady what happens to a lot of other players, which is we have to watch them suck for 2 years before they quit. I like to see people go out on top, but it's hard to do that. But when you're competitive to the point that you're playing professional sports, it's hard to hang it up when you're still good. It's hard to do because you always think you can do it again. So I understand it. Drew Brees, I remember watching a Saints game, I guess this past year, and I was watching Drew Brees, and it was sad. The guy couldn't throw the ball 30 yards, and I'm like, man, I don't like to see that happen to people. But, can't tell a guy when to quit, you know. I mean, I think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback ever in the NFL. Period. Period. I was on the Joe Montana train for a long time, but the guy leaves uh, New England, comes down to Tampa Bay, immediately wins the Super Bowl. I mean, what you can't. I don't see how you can deny it anymore. I mean, he won how many Super Bowls in New England, throwing the ball to people like Wes Welker and a couple other white people you've never heard of. I think he had Randy Moss for 1 year. Other than Randy Moss, Tom Brady never even really had a legitimate wide receiver. Look what happened to Wes Welker when he went to Denver. The guy had like 4 catches for 2 yards or something. It was horrible. Longhorns will beat Bama this year. Well, I wouldn't put any money on that if I was you, buddy. But it's your money. You do what you want. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Where do you think JT Daniels is going to end up? Well, he's visiting West Virginia this weekend. West Virginia, Missouri, Oregon State. Those seem to be the 3 places that he's interested in the most. So we'll see. $4.50 to go until halftime here. Hit the thumbs up if you hadn't already. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I post college football videos almost every single day of the year. Do live streams like this all throughout the season. Thrown towards the sideline, incomplete that time. That's going to bring up 4th down. They're going to have to kick it away. Blues on top 7-3. West Virginia would make JT a star or a gimp. No in between. Texas won't even make a bowl game. Wow. Is that true? I don't know about that. Texas won't even make a bowl game? Dang. Punting from their own end zone. Kick is away. There's no returns in this game. You have to fair catch it. So he fair catches it at his own 40. The Mays team will take over there, trailing by 4. 4:28 to go in the second quarter. Hit the super chat or the PayPal if you want to help support the channel. I talk college football year round on this channel. If you're looking for a way to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, support the channel with super chat. There's a PayPal link for those of you that have PayPal and don't mind using it. Long live LouTube. Yes, long live LouTube. 1st and 10 now for the Mays team. They're in a shotgun, a pistol formation this time. Wide receivers bunched up top. Play action pass. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go. Takes off running now. Scrambles for about 2 yards before he's tapped out of bounds, which is all you're really allowed to do to the quarterbacks here. Colin Kaepernick and Spike Lee hanging out on the sideline. Colin Kaepernick's going to put on a throwing exhibition at halftime. They just said. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? A handoff this time up the middle on 2nd and 8. Number 34, Franklin. It's going to be 3rd and short now for the Mays. They trail 7-3 with 3.5 minutes to go until halftime. Which is more likely, Tennessee beating Bama next year or Texas? Oh, well, Texas. Texas. Tennessee's not beating Bama. I mean, I don't think either of them are beating Bama, but it would be more likely for Texas. Just got back from the Women's Masters tournament. None of the ladies are under par. Well, sometimes people aren't under par. I don't know what to tell you. Chinese food today. Everybody's always curious. It's Chinese today. See? It's good too. Yeah, it's good too. Matt. Uh-oh. There's your toe in there.
I know. Ouch.
Big Paint says he got chicken wings from the Chinese place too. Great minds. Great minds. Vic wants to know what kind of Chinese it is. It's Chinese, ain't it?
Chinese.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chinese today.
Is there any other kind?
Yeah, there's Korean Chinese, there's Japanese Chinese,
when it
there's
comes to
Vietnamese
Chinese,
Chinese.
We all know that Uncle Lou doesn't like, what is it, Filipino?
Vietnamese sandwiches.
Vietnamese.
I don't like
Okay.
Vietnamese.
I got sodas too, by the way.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Fish and Football says, don't forget about Uber Lady Chinese. There's
That's
that
right.
too.
Hi, everybody. Somebody said why I didn't say hi to everybody.
Yeah, you see how the lady tells you hi?
Good
there?
morning.
It tells you good morning too. Rod says they ate Chinese too. It must just be a Chinese. Is it today Chinese New Year or something?
No.
Is it the year of the dragon every year? Should it be the year of the dragon every year?
I don't know. That's a great
Every
question.
year it's an
It
animal
should-
over there.
yeah. It's a different animal.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like the year of the dog or something. Hashtag 2021. Was 2021 the year of the dog in China? It had to be.
I don't know if it was the year of the dragon this year either.
Man, this really reminds me of football season now. Eating in here and watching football on TV.
Right.
Yeah, I know she's Korean Chinese. I know that. I know that. Some dude thinks Southern Miss will beat Miami. Anyways, Lou, will you go live for the Masters? I might stream some of the Masters next weekend, yeah. I guess if I stream it, it'll be on Sunday, though. You know? If I'm going to stream it, I might as well stream the final round. Super Denny wants to I just want to know who Georgia played. Of course, Georgia didn't play nobody. Nobody's ever played nobody on this channel. It's just all the who have they played thing. Oh, yeah, I know this team has won 892 games in a row. But who have they played? They played, yeah, what did they do? They won 800 games in a row, but guess what? They ain't played nobody. Who have they played, Lou? You can't answer a simple question. Just tell me who have they played? Who have Georgia played? Woo! Still 7-3. A minute and a half to go till halftime. The yellow team is trailing 7-3, but they're driving inside the 35. Big 3rd and 8 here. A give-up play. But it picks up the first down anyway. They just ran the ball at the middle on 3rd and 8, kind of a give-up play. A couple of missed tackles, though. Leads to a first down, so drive still alive. Stream the Duke UNC game. Is that today, right? Is that today? I'm definitely not streaming the whole game. Maybe if it's close, I'll stream the end. in the second half or something. Maybe. It's time to stop celebrating? No. It's not time to stop celebrating. Georgia's your national champion, son. Deal with it. Deal with it and find a way to accept it. I don't know what else to tell you. No amount of crying is going to change this, son. No amount of crying is going to change this. You can type about it till your fingers fall off. Just think about it, though. The good thing is, if you type so much that your fingers fall off, that would make it a lot easier to stick one of them up your butthole. I hope North Carolina beats Duke, and I hope Villanova beats Kansas. But I feel Kansas wins and Duke. I think Kansas wins it all, but would like UNC as an 8 seed. I'm not a Duke or a North Carolina fan. I don't have a favorite team in college basketball. I do love March Madness, though. But it is very interesting to me, the Coach K thing. Coach K lost his last home game to North Carolina. His last ever home game as a head coach at Cameron Indoor, or Cameron Arena, or whatever the hell they call it. Their last home game this year was against North Carolina. North Carolina beat them. This is a bitter rivalry, you know. North Carolina's going to brag about that from now to the end of time. Well, what if North Carolina now turns around and beats Coach K in his last ever game as a head coach, period, and it's in the Final Four? I mean, the storyline surrounding this Duke North Carolina game with the Coach K retirement looming in the background is really something. I'm eating Chinese food. What kind of rice is that? Shrimp fried rice?
House special fried rice.
You want house special? Fried rice and chicken wings. Duke will probably win. Playing twice favors the team who lost the first matchup most of the time. Well, they played like 4 times this year. So. I mean, Duke was the better team most of the year. But North Carolina has been hot in the postseason. I think it'll be a good game. What time does that come on? What time does the Duke North Carolina game come on today?
I don't know.
How's BA's daughter?
Oh, she's better. Yes, better. Thank you for asking. They're at their dad's this weekend.
Okay, somebody says it comes on at 5:49. Somebody said it came on at 6. Somebody else said it came on at 8. So as usual, I'm just going to have to find out for myself. Appreciate the help, though. Duke game, 8:49.
Damn.
Duke game comes on at 8:49 tonight. Duke versus North Carolina, 8:49 on TBS. Don't believe anything else you see in the chat. The Duke North Carolina game comes on at 8:49 tonight on TBS. There you go.
So who was close?
I don't even know.
Somebody said 8, right?
Somebody said somebody Arizona time, and I'm like, what? I'm not living anywhere near the Grand Canyon. In football, do my Canes finally win the ACC or the Coastal this year and at least make a New Year's Six? I feel like we will be better under Mario, but not quite elite though. Miami fans, including myself, at times. Uh, I think Miami will be good this year. Good enough to win the ACC? Depends. I mean, I still think Clemson is a better overall team right now than Miami. They've got more talent. That's not an opinion. I mean, that's just a fact of the matter based on recruiting over the last 4 years. Um, but if Clemson can't get the quarterback situation figured out, if their offensive line isn't any better, Miami's got to avoid injuries too. Because now Miami's going to get better in the next 2 to 3 years, talent-wise, than they are now. I don't care what anybody says or thinks about Mario Cristobal. The guy is an elite level recruiter and has hired an entire staff filled with elite level recruiters. Colin Kaepernick's out at midfield putting on a throwing clinic of sorts. Dude can throw the ball. I mean, but Mario Cristobal is an elite recruiter, and so Miami, the overall talent level at Miami is going to increase over the next 2 to 3 years. So I think they will have a better chance of winning the ACC or making a playoff game in 2 to 3 years than they have this year. But I mean, anything's possible. I mean, they're going to lose to Texas A&M in my opinion. They play at Texas A&M in week 2. I think they're going to lose that game. Even say they lose at Clemson and any one other game, they're sitting there at 9-3 with only 2 ACC losses. That's probably good enough to win the division and get to the ACC title game. If they lose to Clemson, they would be 9-4. Will that get them into a New Year's Six game? I don't know if 9-4 would get them into a New Year's Six game. They would have to be 10-3 to get a New Year's Six game. Yeah, I mean Pitt. You got to play Pitt. How good are they going to be? North Carolina. A lot of questions in the ACC right now, but Kenny Pickett and Sam Howell leaving. Two of the best quarterbacks in the ACC the last couple of years are gone, so got to replace those guys. Everything like that.
Yeah. Two and also.
In addition to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, good, right?
That's fit to eat. That's fit to eat there.
Not to be confused with fit to be tied.
I ain't no. That's you. You know what I mean? That's you. The food is fit to eat. Well, that could be you too. Yeah, that could be you too. You could be you could be fit to eat and fit to be tied at the same time.
At the same time. Mind blown.
The food is just fit to eat though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tying the food up. Mayhem Matthew, that's disturbing, son. I don't know. Not every thought and idea that pops into your brain needs to be typed out in the YouTube comment section, bro. That is next level weird, dude. Real weird.
I mean, wow.
That's Colin Kaepernick.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the kneeling dude?
Yeah.
Oh. What the hell's he doing there?
Throwing the football. Colin Kaepernick. Lou, you should probably go outside in twos and lock your doors and windows after that. Yeah, that's I don't know about that. I don't even really know I don't know even know what to say about it. Well, this is the longest spring game halftime in history. Let me go get something to drink. I'll be right back.
They did ask me that. No, I passed on the sticks.
You're eating like a civilized individual today.
Oh, stop it. I didn't want to have to show you what would make you feel uncomfortable.
I'm about to hit the driving range soon. Have fun with that. The driving range. I ain't got no interest in it. Shotgun now. Colin Kaepernick back to throw. Looks, fires over the middle, complete. Great protection on that play too. There was nobody within 20 yards of him, or the receiver either, for that matter. Cap's out here dropping dimes. Look at this. Back to throw. Looking, crossing route over the middle. Caught! Good for a first down. Again, great protection. Did anybody see where Wings was on CNN? Come on, Wings of Redemption? I didn't see that. What was he on CNN for? Eh. No, she's mad.
What's she mad about?
I see Johnny. I know, Mom. What's the cat? The cat named Monkey. Come on. You down want to say hi to the people? You still trying to say hi to the people in there? Huh? They're right there. Look, they're right there. Look. Come on. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk. Oh, man. What did he do that for?
Line up, baby.
Oh yeah, I've seen those memes going around. the the thing is, the the audience that those memes are designed for is super gullible to begin with. Well, I kind of got suckered into getting that cat, but that's the only cat I've ever had. I've always had dogs. The Big Ten requires a non-conference Power 5 or Power 5 equivalent for all teams. Michigan's Power 5 equivalent is somehow UConn because the Big Ten considers UConn like Notre Dame or Cincy for no reason. Well, Cincy's not Power 5. Cincy's Group of 5. Yeah, considering UConn a Power 5 opponent is absolutely ridiculous, and Michigan ought to be ashamed of themselves.
It is good. Good idea,
Oh,
right?
who had it? Where was it?
Oh, I just went to Happy China right there on Columbia Road.
Oh, that's right by the Kroger.
Happy
Yeah.
China.
Happy China.
Happy China.
China. Hey, last week, North Carolina versus Duke. I'm probably not going to do the entire game. If it's close, I might do the second half. The Big Ten just ought to do away with that stupid fucking rule. Then that's fucking retarded. I can't believe I didn't know that, or I would have made a video about how fucking retarded that is. So the Big Ten has a rule that one of your non-con opponents has to be a Power 5 team. But then they're counting UConn and Cincinnati as Power 5 teams. UConn is in the group of 5. UConn is UConn. So really, you can just schedule anybody you want. Call the Big Ten. What's that dumbass's name that runs the Big Ten? What's that embarrassment of a commissioner? What's his name?
I don't know.
Hey, Big Ten commissioner guy. We don't want to play a real Power 5 opponent, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to schedule Cincinnati. No, never mind. Scratch that. They're a playoff team. I'm not taking that chance. Give us UConn, but then make it where UConn is suddenly a Power 5 opponent. Thank you. Yeah, Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren. What an idiot that guy is. I don't understand. Why even have the rule? Why even have the rule? It's ridiculous. And then the Big Ten sit around and cry about the SEC schedule. Georgia played an FCS team. Whoopity-doo! We played 10 Power 5 games, you dumbass. What does it matter what we play the other 2 games? Jesus Christ, we beat everybody we play. Does it really matter what division they're in? Jesus. But the Big Ten invents fake rules and then don't enforce it. I'm retarded, man.
Damn, they got you all worked up today, huh?
Yeah, y'all got me over here hollering and shit on a spring game. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. They're ridiculous, man. Yeah. Indiana's not playing a single non-con Power 5 opponent. They're playing Cincinnati. What a joke. Cincinnati is group of 5. Oh, shit. Cincinnati's a group of 5 team, but they're the best team in the group of 5. Shit. Let's count them as Power 5. And then you got the same people that want to count Cincinnati as Power 5. Those are the same people that ran around all last December going, Cincinnati shouldn't be in the playoff. They're not Power 5. They're Group of 5. They shouldn't be in. They're not a Power 5 team. They're a Group 5 team. They shouldn't be in the playoffs because they're not Power 5. Oh, Indiana scheduled them? Well, that counts as Power 5. I mean, it's just ridiculous. For Christ's sake, is Maryland in the Big Ten? Yeah, right here. Can someone explain this to me like I'm a 3-year-old? Buffalo, Charlotte, SMU. Which one of those is the Big Ten suddenly considering a Power 5 team now? Which of these? What in the world? Look. Buffalo, Charlotte, SMU. Which one of those is the Big Ten pretending is Power 5? This is goddamn ridiculous.
Said something about that. I got you. You got Uncle Lou all worked up now.
I mean, that's stupid. They consider Buffalo Power 5? Come on. Come on. Jesus Christ. That's stupid. That's stupid. Why even have the rule? Buffalo's so bad, I don't even have their helmet. I mean, at least I have an SMU helmet. At least I have an SMU helmet. But Buffalo? And what was the other one? Charlotte? No, there's no way. No, I ain't got no damn Charlotte helmet. I don't have a Charlotte helmet. At least I have an SMU helmet, though. God almighty, man. Okay, that's it. There is no rule in the Big Ten about playing Power 5. There is no rule. I don't give a shit if it's written down somewhere. But it could be in some kind of a handbook they hand out. I don't care. It might say that's a rule. It's not a rule if no one does it. It's not a rule. I'm officially making it not a rule now in the Big Ten. SMU is not a Power 5 team. I mean, you can't make a rule that says you got to schedule a Power 5 non-con. Then the school gives you 2 of these, and you say, oh, okay, yeah, well, we'll just count SMU, Buffalo, UConn, Cincinnati. A hot pile of poo. It doesn't work that way. There are 60-something Power 5 teams. Schedule one of them. Schedule one of them if that's the rule. But it's not the rule. Retarded ass shit here. Okay, what is this? Where's the non-con Power 5 game? This is like, where's Waldo, the Power 5 version? Where is the non-con Power 5 team? Now, Ohio State fan is the biggest crybaby on planet Earth about SEC scheduling. Where's the non-con Power 5 opponent? I mean, after all, it is a rule. Where is it? Is it Florida Atlantic? Is it Cincinnati? Is it Miami of Ohio? There is no rule. It's not a rule if no one does it. Yeah, no, it's not Cincinnati. Quit telling me that Cincinnati is their Power 5 non-con. Cincinnati is not a Power 5 team, sir. This is a group of 5 teams, sir. This is a group of 5. They're literally in a group of 5 conference. They're a group of 5 team. Ridiculous ass shit. Let me find another one. Retarded, man. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Ohio State plays Notre Dame this year. Yeah, great. The rule isn't you have to play a Power 5 opponent sometimes. The rule is you got to play a non-con Power 5 opponent every year. But the problem is that ain't the rule. There is no rule. It's play whoever you want, schedule whoever you want. We'll close our eyes, and it's like pin the tail on the donkey. It's like what you got a bunch of group of 5 teams, not Power 5, group of 5. Just pick whatever you want. What is this? South Dakota? What is that? What else is down here that doesn't matter? Well, none of this shit matters. South Florida, hell, they're terrible. Let's consider them Power 5. Here you go. Big Ten. This is Big Ten scheduling, pin the tail on the donkey. You close your eyes and you just pick one. And whichever one you pick automatically becomes a Power 5 team. It's amazing how that works. It's amazing how that works. Ridiculous ass shit. It makes zero fucking sense. Why do Southern people hate Michigan? The only people I know that hate Michigan are Michigan people. I mean, hell, it was Michigan people who tried to kidnap their own governor. You know? I think Michigan people hate Michigan. I can't think of any reason why anybody down here would hate Michigan. The game's back on. You know what? What? What are you laughing at? From now on, the spring game counts as a Power 5 non-con opponent.
There you go.
That's all. As long as you have a spring game, that satisfies the requirement for a non-con Power 5. There you go. Alabama versus Tennessee SEC championship game? What? Man, come on. Man, stop it. Stop it. meat on the bone. Who do you think won the coaching carousel? Well, Lincoln Riley to Southern Cal is a good hire. Brian Kelly to LSU. I mean, those are the two big hires there. Brent Venables is going to be an epic failure and disaster at Oklahoma. That's my prediction there. I think Florida is going to become the worst football team in the state of Florida over the next 2 to 3 years. Mario Cristobal to Miami was a good hire. Damn, incomplete, knocked away. Chucked that one a mile down the sideline. Good throw, but the defender knocked her away. I feel like since the Vols are returning a lot of offense, their offense will be even better, and defense should be improved too. Well, okay. So let's say Tennessee's offense is a little bit better and their defense is a little bit better. They're still a million miles behind Georgia and Alabama. I mean, Tennessee hasn't even won the division in 15 years. It's been 15 years since Tennessee won the East. Suddenly they're going to do it because they went 7-6 last year? I don't see it. Yeah, Muffin. Another one. Wisconsin played South Florida. Counted as a Power 5. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Why have the rule? Why have the rule? Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Big Ten playing South Florida, Buffalo, Miami of Ohio. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. The problem is having a rule that says one thing, but then teams just do whatever the fuck they want anyway. That's why it's dumb. I don't care who they play. Georgia struggles against teams with high tempo offenses. Can you name them? I mean, Tennessee has a high tempo offense. How did that work out last year? I mean, what are you even talking about, dude? What are you even talking about? Who has Georgia struggled against that had a high tempo offense? Alabama has a high tempo offense. Did they not have an? So they didn't have a high tempo offense in the national title game. Then I'm confused. Georgia didn't struggle against Alabama because they had a high tempo offense. I mean, that's ridiculous. Alabama has 100 times the talent that Tennessee has. That's why Georgia struggles with Bama. Shit. Tennessee scored on their first possession of the game against Georgia and their last possession of the game against Georgia. And the 12 possessions in between, they didn't do shit. Ohio State backed out of a home against Georgia, too. But I don't blame them. Look at Ohio State's record against the SEC. It's abysmal. It's like they're like 5-13 all time against the SEC.
Damn.
I mean, that's Vandy level poverty. I think Vanderbilt has a higher winning percentage against the SEC than Ohio State does.
Wow.
Yeah. Let that marinate.
Yeah.
How much do you think Georgia's defense regresses, if at all, this year? A little bit up in the front seven. Just a little bit in the front seven. But, I mean, nobody's going to be able to run on Georgia. I mean, that's not going to change. But the front seven won't be quite as good this year as it was last year. I think the secondary will be better. Yeah, Michigan's pass game is doo-doo. That's why Michigan got boat raced by Georgia. They can't throw the ball, and against Georgia, you can't run the ball. So, I mean, there's just nothing they can do. Yeah, Georgia's losing a lot of talent on defense, but I mean, there's a lot of talent right behind it too. I mean, they've had a top 3 recruiting class for 5 years in a row. Well, Notre Dame is a Power 5 team. You don't need an exception for Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a Power 5 team. The rest of them are Group of 5. They're literally in Group of 5 conference. They're not Power 5. Nice run there from Michigan down inside the 40. 7-6, the blue team's on top. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that Big Ten non-con anymore. Y'all done got me mad now. My ear is clogged up now because I don't know what I did. I yelled too loud or something. Reverse popped my ear or something. I popped it in. I don't know what I did. They get me worked up and riled up.
I know. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
I think they do it on purpose.
This was supposed to be just a little fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to come in here and chill and relax and watch a little bit of football and hang out with you guys in the comment section. And, you know, we can't even get to halftime and you guys got me mad. I'm drooling mad over here. If you think Tennessee is coming into Athens, Georgia, and beating Georgia this year, then I don't. There's no hope for you. I don't think there's a soul alive outside of Homer Tennessee fans who think Tennessee is beating Georgia at Georgia this coming year. What you need to do is focus on that Florida game because Tennessee actually has a chance to beat Florida. You get them at home, and they're a dumpster fire right now. You're so far away in talent from Georgia. I don't understand in what universe you think you're beating Georgia in Athens. Our offense is going to be better than it was last year. We didn't lose anybody on offense outside of a couple of running backs. But let me guess, you don't. I mean, if you don't know anything else about Georgia, do you really think Georgia is going to be hurting at the running back position? I mean, come on. The offensive line is back. Every wide receiver is back. The tight ends are back. All the quarterbacks are back. I don't understand how anybody can honestly think that Tennessee is going to beat Georgia in Athens this year. That's just insanity. That's insanity. Well, let me know how much money you want to bet on it, because I can't tell if you're extremely ignorant or extremely confident. or if being extremely ignorant is making you confident. But I would love to. To make that bet with you. I'll make that bet right now. Tennessee goes 7-6. Signs a quarterback that's not even getting till Knoxville till 2023, and now they're beating Georgia in 2022. I mean, this is insane. This is just insane. No one thinks that. The overwhelming majority of Tennessee fans don't even think that. You know what? Tennessee fans with even an average level of IQ want. Here's what they want: beat Pitt, win all your other non-con games. That's 4 wins. Beat Florida for only the second time in 30 years. That would be a huge step forward. Don't lose to your second SEC West opponent. You're going to lose to Alabama. Don't lose to the other one, which is LSU. That's what Tennessee fans with any decent IQ are wanting right now. 9-3. 9-3 is what Tennessee fans who are optimistic should be wanting. With wins over Florida, Pitt, and LSU. Coming on here talking about beating Georgia, you might as well be slapping your own self in the back of the neck. Nine and 3 is doable. Tennessee has to win the games that they're supposed to win. That's number one. That's Pitt. Okay? Beat Pitt. That's 4 wins because you're winning your other non-con games. So beat Pitt. That's 4 wins. Beat Florida. That's 5 wins. Okay? And then beat everybody you're supposed to beat. Vandy, 6. South Carolina, 7. Missouri, 8. Kentucky, 9. Okay? Then you can lose to Georgia, Bama, and LSU. Be 9-3, playing a bowl game that nobody will watch. And then you can spend all next offseason talking about how Josh Heupel went from 7 wins to 9 wins. And that you're back. You know, that's what you should want to do. Coming on here in April, talking about beating Georgia. This is why people love to laugh at Tennessee fans, because y'all do the same dumb shit every single year. Not all of them. Like I said, the overwhelming majority of Tennessee fans, no, they're not beating Georgia. They want to go 9-3. But this is why people like you are why, you know, when you see Tennessee fans, it's like driving by a car accident. It's just, you know, you slow down, you look, you point. Look, there's one. You know, it's like going to the zoo. You ever been to the zoo to see the gorillas and they won't come out? You're standing there all day waiting on one to come out, and one comes out, and that's that. Yeah. That's when you see a Tennessee fan that says, we're beating Georgia. Wow. And they do it every offseason, and this is why it's so fun to pick on and laugh at Tennessee fans, because y'all set your own selves up for such disappointment and failure every year. So now, Tennessee's going to go 8-4, which would be a good year. They win their bowl game, now it would be 9-4. Georgia's going to beat you by 30. You can't come back to my comment section next offseason and pretend that you're happy. You can't. Because you spent all this offseason drooling all over yourself about beating UGA. You see Tennessee going 10-2. When was the last time Tennessee won 10 games in a season? 15 years ago? I mean, come on. The last time Tennessee won 10 games, your average idiot like me was walking around with a BlackBerry. You probably don't even know what that is. That's how long ago that was. That's how long ago that was. Sports come up. Tennessee's been waiting on their sports come up for shit. Hashtag 1998, son. Tennessee's got one national title in the last 55 years.
Wow.
One national title in the last 55 years. They go 7-6, and now they're beating Georgia, winning the East, going 10-2, and they're back and dominating college football. Overnight, boom, snap like that. Yeah, that's what I said 15 years ago. This is 2022. Minus 15 is what? 2007. That's right. That's right. But then you fired Phil Fulmer, and it's, you've just been sucking your own dick ever since then. It's happened before. Plenty of teams have had amazing seasons after being terrible the year before. Not after being terrible for 15 years in a row. No. I don't believe that. I don't think there's a team that's been terrible for 15 years in a row and then suddenly had an amazing season. I don't believe that that's ever happened. Mississippi State might be a better program this year than Tennessee, and I disagree with that. I think Mississippi State might be the worst team in the West. Them or Arkansas. Them or Auburn. Auburn's a joke right now. Auburn might well forfeit the season and just start looking for a new head coach.
Damn.
Yeah, it's that bad. Tennessee beating Georgia in Athens. Coming up on the end of the third quarter here. Blue team up 14-6 over the Maize team. What color is that?
Yellow.
No, it's maize.
It's yellow.
It's maize.
Okay. I was wondering about that. I was like, what the hell is maize?
Maize is that color right there.
So maize yellow?
No, maize. How do you think Michigan is going to do so far? I think Michigan will be good again this year. Good enough to beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten, and make the playoffs? No, I don't think they'll be that good again. But I don't think they're going to go 6-6. I think it'll be a good team. They should start 4-0. They play 3 nobodies in the non-con, literal nobodies, and then Maryland. So they should be 4-0. Then they have to play at Iowa. That'll be a tough game. They play Penn State and Michigan State. And then, of course, they finish up at Ohio State. 9-3. Tennessee was top 10 in points per game last year. Son, I don't really think you understand football. Tennessee scored 37 points per game. So did Georgia. Georgia scored 37 points per game. You see where I'm going here? Here's the difference. You ran 120 plays to get your 37 points. Georgia ran 70 plays. Which offense is better? Now, do you want me to look up defensive points per game? And this is where you'll truly begin to understand how far away you really are. Now, it's going to take me a while to scroll down far enough to find Tennessee on this list, so just give me a second. They're not in the top 50, okay? They're not in the top 50. 90th.
Oh, shit.
90th. 90th in points allowed. 90th. Now let me scroll way back up to the top again. Georgia is first. So let's say Tennessee, because you say Tennessee's defense is going to improve. Okay? Let's say they get 10 spots better. Now they're 80th. You say Georgia's defense, not as good. Okay, let's say they fall 10 spots. They're 10th. Georgia's 10th. Tennessee's 80th. That's defensive points per game. And both teams scored 37 points per game. You say Tennessee's offense is getting better. I say Georgia's offense is getting better. Let's say Tennessee scores 40 points per game instead of 37. What are they going to score against Georgia? 20? And what is Georgia going to score against Tennessee? 40? I mean, come on, bro. I hate to break it down to you like you're a third grader, but you might be. Georgia has no offense? Sir, they're seventh in America in points per game. No offense? What in the fuck is wrong with you people? Y'all don't watch football. You know what it is? I talk about Georgia fans all the time with this because there's a lot of Georgia fans fall into this category too. But a lot of you fucking idiots, all you do is watch your own team. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You're not a college football fan. You're just a fan of whatever team you're a fan of. And then outside and beyond that, you just don't know a fucking thing. And, that's not really my opinion. That's a scientific fact based on doing YouTube for the last 8 years and having to constantly read a lot of the dumb shit that a lot of you say. So, but Georgia had no offense, though. Okay? Did Oklahoma have an offense? Did Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley, and Caleb Williams have an offense in 2021? Of course they did. They didn't score as many points per game as Georgia, though. Let's see. What about North Carolina and Sam Howell? They have an offense? Of course they did. Didn't score as many points as Georgia, though. Nope. Sure didn't. What a shame. Who had the best offenses? Ole Miss? Did Lane Kiffin have a good offense? Think about it. Didn't score as many points as Georgia, though. But Georgia had no offense. Ole Miss, 29th in points per game. Georgia, 8th. I don't know why someone who doesn't watch college football, which obviously, sir, you don't, or you wouldn't have made that comment, would be tuned in to a live stream of a Michigan spring game. It's weird. It's weird.
That is pretty weird.
Georgia had no offense. I feel like somebody has to follow you around all day reminding you to blink. The Utah-Florida game is being played in Gainesville at Florida. It's a home game for Florida. Florida plays out there next year or the year after or whatever it is. Damn, Jay. Yeah, they do play. It is a home and home series. I can't remember if they play at Utah in in 23 or 24? Let me look. Yeah, 2023. Next year at Utah. At Utah. Unless Florida cancels, which is a definite possibility. Florida could definitely cancel that game. If Florida plays at Utah in 2023 like they're scheduled to do, it'll be the first time Florida has played a Power 5 non-con opponent on the road outside the state of Florida since 1991 when they lost on the road at Syracuse.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, anyone can reschedule a game. Tennessee backed out of playing Army this coming year. Tennessee's supposed to play Army this season. They canceled on Army around this time last year. They said, "No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to get beat by Army at home. That would be embarrassing." So they took Army off the schedule. Tennessee did. And put Akron on there instead. Akron, the Zips. Or Ball State. It was either Akron or Ball State. They took Army off and replaced them with Akron or Ball State. I can't remember which now. Akron is a good team. No, they're not.
Wow, you guys are something else today.
You a fan of the Zips? The Akron Zips? Let's go Zips. Akron is a good team, he said.
Zips.
Yeah, the Zips. Look, this Zips. Look. I have to let me un-Akron my pants. Now let me Akron my pants back up. Akron is a Power 5 team, according to the Big Ten. Oh, you want to see Ball State? You want me to demonstrate Ball State? Unfortunately, I don't have a Ball State helmet, or I would demonstrate Ball State for you. When is Liberty coming to the SEC? Liberty? What about my freedom? What about my freedom?
Like a rag doll. Did you see that?
There was a guy live streaming a week or so ago on YouTube. His entire live stream was him complaining that Facebook banned him. The entire live stream. He's on, and what about my freedom? And, first they ban you from Facebook, then they put you in the train cars and send you to the camps. Like, that's the next step. On and on and on. Facebook banned me. This is un-American. Blah, 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 blah. And, of course, I'm trolling him in the comments the whole time. Well, guess what he does to me? Bans me. Bans me. This is what we're dealing with these people. Wow. This is the level of stupidity that exists. These people are like, oh my God. Let me ask you something. Why do you drive on the right side of the road?
Because it's the law.
Because they told you to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Someone told you, drive on the right side of the road, so you do it. Well, what about your freedom? How come I don't see all these what about my freedom people driving the wrong way down the interstate? That's what I want to see. All these people, you know what? First they make you drive on the right side of the road. Then next thing you know, they're putting you in a train and shit and sending you off to the camps. I need all the what about my freedom people to stand up for democracy and stupidity and start driving on the wrong side of the interstate. That's what I need to happen.
Yes.
If not, we're no different than China. Elijah, if I went to your Facebook page and told you to go fuck your mother, what would you do? You'd block me. You communist. You don't have a right. You don't have a God-given right to have a YouTube channel or a Facebook page or a Twitter page. I can sit down and write a letter to the editor and send it to my newspaper. They don't have to publish it. I mean, it's not up to you what Facebook allows people to put on Facebook. Just like it's not up to me. I get banned from Facebook all the time. I did 2 30-day sentences in a 75-day period. Remember that?
Oh my
I was banned for 30 days. I wasn't even back for 2 weeks. I was banned for 30 days again. But, Facebook doesn't have to let me put anything on Facebook if they don't want to. Facebook sucks. I know Facebook sucks. You know how I know? Because 90% of the people on my friends list on Facebook, all they ever post about is how much they hate Facebook. Then get off Facebook, dude. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. It's like going and paying $50 to see a movie. The movie sucks. It's terrible. You leave the theater. You're driving home. That movie was fucking terrible. I hate that movie. That's the worst movie ever. You get home. You turn around in your driveway. You drive back to the movie theater and you watch it again. And then you do the same thing on the way home. Oh my God, that movie was horrible. Worst movie I've ever seen. This is ridiculous. What about my freedom? And then you turn right back around and you go watch the movie again. Get off Facebook. You don't have to be on Facebook. Oh, I hate Facebook. Get off of it. My favorite is when they make a Facebook post telling everyone they're leaving Facebook to go to some other platform that's going to fail in a week. And, you tell them that. And then a week later, they're back on Facebook, posting videos of a trucker rally somewhere. Yes, I got banned from Truth Social. Truth Social is the Donald Trump alternative to Twitter and Facebook. All the what about my freedom people. Go to Truth. They don't censor bullshit. I didn't last 2 days on Truth Social. They banned me. Oh, spring game's on still. Didn't even realize. Great. I really like this running back number 2 for Michigan. Corum. I really like him. They're interviewing him now. He looks good. I bet he has a good year. Somebody mentioned earlier that he got hurt last year and was out for a couple of games or whatever. And of course, they had Hassan Haskins last year was their primary running back. But if he can stay healthy, that number 2, I bet he has a big year. I like him. Let me see what he did against Georgia. Breaking. Here's a hint. I'm sure it wasn't much. But that doesn't mean anything. Nobody runs against Georgia. Let's see. He had 3 carries for 13 yards. Hassan Haskins, 9 carries for 39 yards. Michigan ran for 91 yards. That's actually not terrible against UGA. That's not terrible for against Georgia. UJ spring game is 2 weeks from today, April 16th. I know Michigan fans are disappointed. I am too. I wanted to see J.J. McCarthy play today, but he's not participating in the spring because of an injury. Incomplete pass, long pass down the sideline. It was underthrown. Pretty easy play for the defender there to knock that one away. JJ did hold a field goal snap. Well, I think you know what I mean. I would have liked to have seen him play quarterback. Will Carson be the number 2 QB? That's a very interesting question. It seems like that right now, but a lot can change between now and the time the season starts. I mean, hell, last year after spring practice, Stetson Bennett was the 4th string, and we saw how that worked out. So we'll see. There's a lot of spring ball left, and then you got summer workouts and fall camp and all that. So we'll see how it ends up. But right now, it looks like Carson Beck is QB2. Texas will rise again this year. Texas could be pretty good this year. I wouldn't be shocked to see Texas win the Big 12. I think Oklahoma's going to be down. Baylor, they return a lot. Oklahoma State, I think, will be good again. I would pick Texas, Baylor, or Oklahoma State right now. If I had to pick right now, I would pick one of those 3 teams would be my pick to win the Big 12. First and 10. Hayes team trails 14-9. They got the ball inside their own 10-yard line. Thrown
literally is what that might have been.
Number 10 in the guy.
He was looking at you. I mean, he was intense. We'll say that Stetson Bennett, of course. They said
he gives us a chance to win. Another move back there. I'm not sure what his name is.
Powers was a problem for Michigan.
3 touches on the first.
Hayes has the ball. They're down 14-9. 8-4.
Right down the field. Did exactly
2nd and 10 from their own 5-yard line.
His 12th
a shotgun standing on his own goal line. 2 wide receivers. One of them comes in motion. And a handoff this time right up the middle. Not much room. Does fall forward for 5 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and about 6.
But I think specifically it showed how Harbaugh felt about Georgia. There was a tremendous amount of respect coming in and him thinking, you know what, Georgia scored on.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That was I had ESPN pulled up, and they have ads that autoplay on there sometimes. That's what that was. Sorry, I turned it off. I didn't know it was running. 3rd and 6 now for the Mays team on their 9-yard line. Shotgun. Snap, back to throw. Looking. Throws way over the head of the receiver. Overthrown by a mile. 4th and 6. Mays is going to have to punt it away. If Stetson is named backup after spring, will he transfer? He won't be named backup after. Stetson Bennett is the starting quarterback. It's that simple. I don't care what Kirby Smart does or says between now and the Oregon game. You're not going to convince me that anybody other than Stetson Bennett is trotting out there to take that first snap against Oregon. Now, what happens after that, I think, could be debatable. But Stetson Bennett is not going anywhere, and he will start at quarterback for Georgia against Oregon. Just like JT was better. Yeah, JT Daniels better than Stetson Bennett. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. What other spring games are you planning or considering streaming? What's coming on next weekend? I don't know. What spring games are next weekend? Let me see. All right, let's see. Today is what? April 2nd? Next Saturday, Boston College, Clemson, Florida State, NC State, North Carolina, Nebraska. Yeah, I'll be streaming next week. I'll be streaming next week. There's a bunch of spring games on next week. Oh, broke the tackle, got away up the sideline, tackled out of bounds. Big play there on 3rd down, keeps the drive alive. Yeah, I'll be streaming some spring games next Saturday. I'm not exactly sure which ones yet, but there's a bunch of them on. Got to watch Clemson and see if they figured out how to complete a pass or not yet. What's up, Bonner? Fourteen to 9. Blue team still up over the Mays team. Blue team has the ball and they're driving, looking to add to the lead. 2nd and 7. 5.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Michigan spring game. Second and 7 on their on the what is that? The 26. Reverse. A reverse pass. Wide open. Caught. 10, 5, 4. Tackled at the 4. A pitch. A reverse. And a pass. Michigan is breaking out all the trick plays. They had a double pass earlier. Now they run a jet sweep. Then a reverse. And then a pass. A wide open receiver gets caught from behind and tackled out of bounds at the 4. 1st and goal for the blue team. A score here will pretty much put this one away. Michigan tricking themselves. Touchdown, blue team. So this one's this one's over. So if you had the blue team on the money line, congratulations, you won the bet. What if I bet there's people who bet on spring games. That's how degenerate some people are.
Wow.
I bet there's people out there that bet on spring games. Blue team's up 20-9 now. Extra point coming up. Oh, they're going to go for 2 because, well, why not?
Oh my God, what was that? Did you see that?
Oh my God. 2-point conversion is good. I'm not even going to try to describe it to you. You just have to go back and watch it, I guess.
Wow.
What, South Carolina? I think South Carolina will be better this year. What I don't understand is, well, there's a lot I don't understand. But people expected South Carolina to go like 3-9 last year. 3-9, 4-8. Something like that. Most Tennessee projections had Tennessee winning 5 or 6 games. So all of the projections last offseason had Tennessee winning more games than South Carolina. They had South Carolina winning 3 or 4 games. Tennessee goes 7-5, which is about 1 or 2 games better than what most people thought they would do. South Carolina had the same record, 7-6. Well, that's about 4 games better than anybody thought they would do. Both first-year head coaches, South Carolina and Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is adding basically nothing to their offense. Now, their offense was good last year, and it would be good again this year, but they're adding nothing. South Carolina went 7-6 with a quarterback who 6 weeks before the season started wasn't even a football player. Never mind a quarterback. He just worked on the team. He just worked there.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're looking around 6 weeks before the season, and they're going, we ain't got no quarterback. And they pointed at this guy, and they gave him a uniform, and he became their quarterback.
Wow.
And they still went 7-6. Now they're adding Spencer Rattler, the tight end from Oklahoma, like all this stuff through the transfer portal. But all I hear about is how great Tennessee's going to be this year. Well, what about South Carolina? You know what I mean? South Carolina get no respect. They don't get none from me either, but I'm just saying it's weird. It's weird that everybody's like, oh my God, Tennessee went 7-6 in Josh Heupel's first year. This is amazing. Well, so did Beamer at South Carolina also went 7-6, and they were supposed to be worse. Worse. So, I don't know. I don't know. Good point, Jackpot. Yeah, I forgot about that. Tennessee scored a lot of points. Same amount. I mean, yeah, great. Whee! Hendon Ho, that quarterback. Yeah, Jesus Christ. You got a prostitute as a quarterback. That's her. Hendon Hooker. Hendon Ho. Hi ho. Hi ho. 7-6 we go. I mean, whee! I don't know. It's because South Carolina hasn't been relevant in years. South Carolina has been relevant more recently than Tennessee, sir. Tennessee hasn't been relevant since the mid-2000s. South Carolina was relevant in the late 2010s. I mean, the early 2010s, like 2010, 2011. They were winning 10 games, 11 games. Hell, didn't South Carolina win 11 games 3 years in a row? In like 2009, 2010, 2011, I think. 11 games they won 3 years in a row. Tennessee hasn't even won 10 games in a season since 2007. So South Carolina's been relevant more recently than Tennessee. Oh, they're just drawing up plays in the dirt now. Bad News Bears style. Now they get a late hit.
Did you just say orgy?
Yeah, his name's Orgy. Well, I mean, you know, it's like that guy in Alabama named Kool-Aid.
You're right.
Alabama has a player named Kool-Aid. Oh, I talk about South Carolina all the time, don't I, Jackpot? Huh? I talk about Carolina all the time. You know? All this guy does is talk about South Carolina. He must be a South Carolina. I bet he's a closet South Carolina fan. All he does is talk. You know, he talks about, look, click on one of his videos. Bet he's talking about South Carolina. Type in Uncle Lou, South Carolina. I bet you find something. Uncle Lou, South Carolina. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Michigan. 4, 5. South Carolina Gamecocks and other useless waste. Look at this, Jackpot. What is this? South Carolina Gamecocks and other useless waste. That's the thing about T-tops. They never go out of style in South Carolina. The hardback T-tops will forever be in style in South Carolina. Yeah. Myrtle Beach, though, in case you're not quite trashy enough to go to Panama City. It's raining L's. No matter what. No matter what. And Will Muschamp is still your coach, so you're probably losing half of the other 7 games. Who's left after those 5 teams? Well, out of the East, who do you got? Tennessee, Kentucky, Mizzou, and Vandy. 2-2 in those 4? You better win the other 3 non-con games. You're not making a bowl, I don't think. Look at this schedule. You know, you spent all offseason last year talking about that game. You were going to beat Georgia. And then spend 3 or 4 years scratching their head going, why the hell are we losing? Well, you hired a proven loser. I mean, God almighty. I had somebody in the comment section, this has been a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it might have been on Twitter now that I think about it. At Crazy Uncle Lou on Twitter, too, if you want to troll me there. But they said, Lou, why don't you make a series of videos where you talk about all the good things about a team instead of always sort of doing the trash talk thing? Well, the trash talk thing is just sort of my style. So that and number 3, what would I say about South Carolina? Here you go. The best thing I can say about South Carolina is that they have more ACC titles than Miami does. Miami. 0 ACC titles. South Carolina won ACC title in 1969. The last conference title South Carolina won, by the way. 1969. Hey, people was at Woodstock. Didn't even know South Carolina won it that year either. Yeah. Anyway. Will Muschamp. You lose what's his name? Debo Samuel. He's gone. Best player in the SEC. But the offense will be at or near the this will be the year. Can you imagine living that day to day? Of course, and maybe you've heard me say this before, but you got to keep in mind, you're talking about a group of people here who think mayonnaise is a meal. Okay? So nothing that they do or say really should surprise you. It really shouldn't. Mullets. Florida gets so rap about the mullets, which is true. There's a lot of them down there. Go to a South Carolina game. Stadium located right across the street from the state fairgrounds. That lingering smell of fried butter from the fairgrounds mixed with the smell of utter and permanent disappointment that lingers from Williams-Brice Trailer Park. It'll almost suffocate you. Go up there on game day if you want to. Count how many 1980s IROC Z's you see. You just count them up. That's the thing about T-tops. They never go out of style in South Carolina. The hardback T-tops will forever be in style in South Carolina. Myrtle Beach, though, in case you're not quite trashy enough to go to Panama City, that should be Myrtle Beach's. That should be Myrtle Beach's tagline. That should be like on all their tourism billboards or commercials or whatever that Myrtle Beach runs. Myrtle Beach, if you're not trashy enough for Panama City. Oh, man. South Carolina's a third world country outside of Hilton Head, folks. Maybe throw Charleston in there. Parts of Charleston, anyway. But no, the worst roads in America, I'm not talking about the traffic patterns. That belongs to Atlanta, courtesy of Georgia Tech. But I'm talking about just general condition of roads. There's more miles of potholes than there is pavement in South Carolina. That's just the truth and the reality of the situation. It's not an impressive place. Not an impressive place. Their dorm rooms have AC units. 125 degrees there from like June through September. Window units. It's 2019. Listen, South Carolina, this is my most hated team. I love trash talking South Carolina more than I do any other team. I've been doing it my whole life, and I've been asked this question a million times. It's just a product of geography for me. I live in Augusta, which is on the border of South Carolina. So growing up, the opposing fan base that I was exposed to the most was South Carolina fans. The part of South Carolina that I live close to tend to be more South Carolina fans there than Clemson fans. Of course, that's started to change a little the last few years. I don't know, can't figure out why, but it has. But it's hard to trash talk. It's hard to look at South Carolina's schedule and trash talk them at the same time. I mean, after all, I'm a human being, you know? I have sympathy and empathy for the downtrodden, the ne'er-do-wells of society, like South Carolinians. Trip down memory lane. 20-12. Blue team on top, 30 seconds to go. One first down and it'll be over, and there it is. Oh no, the yellow team's got the damn ball. Oh, now this is going to be interesting here. 20-12. Blue is winning, but Mays has the ball inside blue territory on their 42. Back to throw again. 18 seconds and the clock is ticking. Scrambling. Sack. Quarterback fumble, too. Yellow team got it back, but this is just about over now. 13 seconds to go. 20-12. The yellow team is losing. Just about Hail Mary time, I guess. They're on their own 49-yard line. Second and 19 from their own 49. 13 seconds to go. Shotgun, 5 wide receivers. Caught. Did not get out of bounds. Clock is running. 2, 1, 0. Game over. Blue wins 20-12. Blue beats Maize in the Michigan spring game. All right, we'll do this again next Saturday. There's a bunch of spring games on next week. Clemson, Florida State, Nebraska, I think North Carolina and NC State. There's a bunch of spring games on all day next Saturday. So we'll do some live streams next Saturday too for some of these spring games. But anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in today. I had a good time. Good to watch some football, even if it is just a scrimmage game, the spring games. It's good to have some football to watch in April. So appreciate all of you hanging out with me today. And come hang out with us again next Saturday. We'll do it again. All right, love you guys. Talk to you again soon. Have a good morning.